Hi everyone, this is Kelly and I'm going to show you how we did our fun fold for this month. This fun fold came from Jackie Bolhuis. She is such a good inspiration to me on doing simple cards that look great. And I'm using the Happy Thoughts stamp set with this. It's also her stamp set that she designed for her $1 million for sales in $1 million plus. So it's pretty cool to use her stamp set and also do her design. So this is the fun fold that we're making, and it looks like this. Okay, it's a really simple fun fold. In your envelope you should have the polka dot DSP. You should have a card base that is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. You should have 2 of the punch outs for your sentiments, an envelope, and then also an extra piece of DSP and a white piece of paper for inside your card. So I am going to do this with a different card paper makeup, but it's the same for yours. So like I said, you have the paper, the 8.5, scored at 4 1/4, and it's 5.5 this way, scored at 4 1/4 here. You should have 2 of these, and yours should be white and navy blue. You should have 1 insert for the inside of the card. You should have a piece that is 2.5 by 6. And also a piece that is 4 inches of DSP, 4 inches by 5 1/4. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get out our paper trimmer to start this card. And it is a very simple card, and please understand that I draw on my tools, and I needed to do some miter cuts. And so I actually marked my diagonals on my Stampin' Up! cut and score thing, because it suits my purpose. So that's what those lines are there. Normally that's not there. So you're going to take your card base and you're going to cut off 1 inch. So I'm going to try and get this. Hopefully you can see where I'm at. I'm trying to see if you can see where I'm at. I don't think you can. Let me bring that out just a little bit this way. Okay, so I'm taking off 1 inch of the front of my card. So I've got that. This here is just by 1 inch. It's 1 inch shorter. Then I'm going to take my DSP that is 4 inches by 5 1/4, and I'm also going to cut off 1 inch. Okay, and that is all the cutting we need to do with our cut and score machine. So now it's pretty much assembly, and it's pretty simple. I'm just going to tell you, this is one of the quickest, fastest fancy folds you'll ever see. So the first thing I do is I go ahead and I put my DSP on the front of the card. And I'm just going to give it like a 1/4 inch or 1/8 of an inch around. So there's my DSP. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my insert and I'm going to adhere my DSP on here, except for I'm going to put it with the reverse side up. So if you have the blue and polka dot paper, the paper with the polka dots on it, this will be a blue paper that looks like this on the reverse side. We're just using both sides of our DSP, and you want to marry this up as closely as you can. Now I have to do things on a diagonal for me to get it straight. That sounds silly, but it's how I work. So there we go. So now the next thing you're going to do is you're going to take this 1-inch strip. You are going to fold it directly in half. You could use a score. You could have scored it at if you liked, but I didn't feel the need. I just thought this is just as fast. This is your hinge. Okay? So once you have scored that, you can take either glue, your Stampin' Seal, or you can take Stampin' Seal Plus. And I'm going to use Stampin' Seal Plus because this is my mechanism. And I'm going to put some on the inside here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the part with no adhesive on the front side. Find what looks to be approximately the middle, and then fold this around the back and press down. Okay, so now I have my flap. So the next thing we're going to do is put our insert inside our card. And again, now I did that kind of crooked, but that's okay. And it's so okay that I think I can pick it off real quick. Well, I can't. So this one's going to be a little crooked, but we'll get it to work. We'll get it to work. See, I don't do everything straight, so it's okay. So that's the inside of my card. This is going to flap here. Now this does not, it does not stay shut. It will pop up a little bit on you, but to make it stay down better, take your bone folder and just crease this. Now I'm just creasing this so that it's straighter here and not completely flush, but no one will know the difference. The other thing is to just burnish this side really good. That will keep it from popping up. Now we're going to do our sentiment. And I'm going to stamp in Mossy Meadow. Almost put that in my lap. That would have been fun. And I'm going to grab a stamp. And I'm going to do the Thinking of You. Because it happens to be one of my favorite ones to put on cards. I seem to always need these. So again, I tend to stamp at a diagonal so that I am straight as I can be. And I know that seems weird. I even put my stamps on diagonal so that I can try and line it up and make it as straight as I can. And you know, that came out pretty good outside the fact that I didn't ink up my stamp well enough. And then what I do from here is you cut this in half. And you adhere it on either side of this. So let me find my snips. Ouch. Well, that was fun. I'm just a world of fun this afternoon. I'm loving it. Let me shut that before that becomes a nightmare. And I'm actually going to use glue at this point because I need glue for the next thing. So you can use your Tombow green glue if you have it. I have a different glue that I've got to use up, so bear with me. But if you are doing Stampin' Up! Glue, it's going to be the Tombow multi-purpose. And all you're going to do is take your sentiment, and you're just extending and kind of framing this. I think that looks so pretty when you do that. And it's a very easy thing to do as far as making it look extra special. Okay. And then you are going to adhere this onto here. Now what I do to make it better is I put if I'm going to put a dimensional, I'd put it on here. I am actually going to just put glue on here. Okay. And then to make sure that I am not getting glue on any other part of my card in case I got a little excited with that glue. I'm going to put my silicone mat on there, and now I'm going to center that on there. I've got a little wiggle room here for a minute to see if I've got it where I want it. Press down. None of it oozed out the back, so that's good. And that is the card. Isn't that cute? Now the last thing we're going to do is we're going to decorate our envelope, and that's what this page is, this piece of paper is for. So you can use either the striped side or you can use the flower side. I am going to put the striped side up. So what I do is I come through with my glue, and I would be using the Tombow. You can try to do this with tear and tape and a tape runner, but the key is to get it towards the edge. Okay, and then line it up. It's going to have about 1/8 of an inch overhang on each side, and just come in underneath that fold line of your flap and then press down. Now again, if you have a silicone mat, it would be good to put that underneath. Then I come through with my bone folder and just kind of flatten it so you don't have like big blobs of it. So once that's done, let me put my lid on my glue, and I just come through and I use the outline of the envelope to cut across. So I just follow that around, and I'm not very fast at cutting, so bear with me on this because I'm having to cut it not at an angle that I normally would be looking at it at. So but the thing I like about this fun fold is the fact that it really is an impressive fun fold, and it's simple. You are just, there's no waste in this paper. You know, so that's what I like about it. But isn't that beautiful? Now you can certainly come in here and put, you know, some sequins or something more embellishment on here, but just as it is, I think it is very, very beautiful. Let me show you a couple others. They are in a plastic wrap, so hopefully they're not too shiny, but I just changed up the sentiment, wishing I could heal your heart. So the thing I liked about this particular paper with the circles and the blue background, that kind of, I think it looks like tire tracks, but that's just me, is that it could be both for a woman or it could be for a man. And then I also did it in a birthday, happy birthday. And if I would have thought, I would have done the video when I still was making these, but I ran out of paper. So here we are. Thank you again for being with me today. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it made sense of a very simple card. Again, I did get this from Jackie Bolhuis, and I absolutely love her stuff. And I used her beautiful Happy Thoughts stamp set for my sentiments. Thanks again. Have a great day. Bye-bye.